So with income inequality, increasing density, and the high cost of land, especially in New York, which you know best, some are concerned that luxury residential tall buildings are being used as investments by absentee owners and that this is creating problems for the reasons above. Do you think we should legislate any special residency requirement or tax or anything like that to stall or to curb this trend?
I don't believe we want to discourage people from buying apartments. What I believe we want to do is encourage construction of low-income housing and rental housing, and that when people build these high-income, expensive buildings, they should be forced to contribute also to low-income construction, which will bring down the cost of land and make it possible to build rental housing.
Specifically how developers who build luxury high-rises should have to contribute to, what, a general fund for building it?
Right now in New York City, there's an 80-20 program, so that if you build rental, you build 20% low-income housing. But if you build a condo, there's no requirement to build low-income housing. So I think the way to make it more equal is to have a requirement for 20% housing, no matter what type of building you build.
What do you think is the most under-addressed issue in tall building design, development, management today? And what would you do to address it?
I think the most under-addressed issue is the safety of these buildings. And the way to address the issue of people's concerns about safety is more education on just how safe these buildings are and how they can be evacuated without issues.
Okay, so looking back on your career, you're receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award tonight. Is there anything about it that would have surprised your younger self?
Well, my younger self would be very surprised about our involvement in the World Trade Center. I was opposed to having it built in the time frame that it was, and also my father was very much opposed to the World Trade Center, and I sort of followed in his footsteps until they decided to go forward, and then we volunteered to be part of the process. Why
were you opposed, and what changed your mind?
I was opposed to the World Trade Center because of as is the first World Trade Center, there was too much office space being delivered at once, and the same thing is happening over again with One World Trade Center, 4 World Trade Center, and now 3 World Trade Center, all being built at the same time. The government decided to go forward with One World Trade Center, and we felt we were the best ones to help them get it finished and get it rented.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now looking forward, you've had most of your experience in New York City. What trends in the city in real estate are you most excited about?
We're finally crossing the river, going to a foreign country in Queens with a new project in Astoria at Hallett's Point, and it's very exciting for us. My father was well known for saying he went by property that he couldn't walk to, and this one would be very difficult to walk to.
And you see there's that development of Roosevelt Island with Technion and Cornell University, and then Astoria's got, and Long Island City have a couple. There's a Citibank Tower right there, right? Is there a tall building? Is that a tall building frontier in New York City?
Well, the tall building frontiers is on 57th Street and Central Park. But along the Queens waterfront, there are a number of fairly tall buildings, and the Citibank building was built, I think 15 years or so ago. Mm-hmm. Stood out by itself for very many years, but now the residential towers are being built around it.
How important are environmental concerns for developers, really, or for you? Is conservation a value in real estate circles, or is it more of an afterthought, a selling point?
I think it's a very important part of, certainly is an important part of what we do at the Durst Organization. We've been involved in environmental responsibility for 25 years now, built the first high-rise green office building at 4 Times Square, and the first Platinum LEED building in New York City, one Bryant Park, Bank of America Tower, and it's imbued in everything we do, that we try and make the building as environmentally responsible as possible. And it's really, doing that is really a way of making it an efficient building and a building that people want to work in.
Mm-hmm. I know that One Bank of America got some flack for being LEED Platinum design, but then because of the use being so high tech, actually taking a lot of energy and even more than I think the average per square meter, square foot.
Bank of America Tower has 5 floors of intense energy use, and we have a cogen plant that produces about 80% of the power that's used, and because it's on site, it operates and is cogen. It operates at 70 to 80% efficiency as compared to the utility power, which is about 30%. In addition, many of the buildings we're compared to use less power because they have 50 or 60% occupancy. I mean, the idea of comparing buildings by how much power they use is just a bad metric to be using. It should be by density or occupant per square foot. And by that measure, we come out very well.